This is our special meeting agenda. We're talking about the American Rescue Plan Act and our policies and procedures. It's 11:07 a.m. on July 22nd. It is Friday. And are there any changes to the agenda? Nope. All right. Hearing none, our business item is American Rescue Plan Act, Arpa, compliance requirements and reporting. And it is an action item. Jody.
So what you have before
you're...
There we go. Thank you. So you've been provided two documents, and Bill, I believe you've been provided one. The first document is the ARPA project workflow. That's what you have before you on the first page. This document details the steps the RMO will follow to ensure Kootenai County meets or exceeds all compliance requirements. The second document is the ARPA project request process flow diagram. This document provides a sequence of actions specific to a project request presented to the board for their consideration. I would like to underscore the importance of compliance. As previously shared with the board, vendors, consultants, contractors cannot approve defined compliance requirements. As a recipient of federal funds, the county must certify ARPA funds have been spent in alignment with the program goals and objectives, and the documentation and certification of all expenditures are eligible expenses. The audit procedure to test compliance with the requirements of ARPA will include procurement. So just wanted you to know.
Okay.
Yes, it's very important.
Sure. So right now we'd already started the building process, and so you've got a copy of the RFQ. We're going to interview the bidders on Monday, August 1st, which I'm not sure if you got that invitation yet. Okay, so make sure that you get that invitation. And that's where the scoring will take place, and all 4 people have scored it. And so we'll review those after the interviews, I guess. So that's the only project I know that's in the works right now. So how do you, if somebody's been, they read the book and they said, okay, I've been approved. So then how do they come forward? They just come to the board first and say, I want to start this project?
No, I wouldn't say that they would have to go before the board. Pat can jump in. The board already approved those projects.
Okay.
We've communicated with each of the individuals that have been the recipient of approval,
okay,
and asked that they work with RMO. So for example, Greg, we've been in communication, and we're going to be working with him how to put together the proposal for a HVAC project.
Perfect.
So that would be what we would recommend, that the moment it becomes a concept in one's mind, our response to our email, we would love the opportunity to meet with them, to go over the requirements as where they are, and potentially get additional information, so then that way we would be able to support them, especially in the compliance requirement. So all expenditures, whether...
Jody, you mentioned 2 documents. I've got one, but not the other one.
I apologize, Bill. That one we'll send to you separately, and that is just it's a project flow for when you receive a request for a potential funding of an ARPA project. That would be the flow that would be followed.
Yeah, it's a flow chart, and I think Pat's able to send it to you. So
Yeah,
it's got bubbles and, follow the arrow kind of thing. So it's a picture of the flow.
Because what I've got right now is ARPA project workflow.
Correct, and then Pat will send you a copy of the second document, and he's sending that to you right now.
Okay.
All right.
Very good, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, as I was mentioning, the expenditures, they will all go through the RMO. We've worked with the auditor's office. We do have a financial management process plan that's been put together, and legal has approved all of our documents to date.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything? No. Okay.
All right. So I will go and I briefly read through it. I didn't really see it. Any issues at this point, but when I have time to sit down and read it again, I'll just reach out with questions or whatever I have.
Senate.
Okay. And then how many people are working on the ARPA because it could be a lot if you have a couple big projects that are overlapping.
Right, so that's another key as to why we would like to be included, so we fully understand the requirements and that we're able to also communicate those and to ensure that the appropriate number of individuals that are going to be assigned to the projects are assigned. So for example, you may wish to have a construction manager, or maybe that is part of your process. So that would also have to be part of the procurement process, if you indeed were to have a construction manager to oversee the construction project.
Which it is on the
Okay.
Yeah.
Justice Center.
Okay.
We're doing the procurement for the CMGC right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's what we're in the middle of. And you've got the RFQ and all that.
That's what's going to be scored on
Okay, the
Monday the
RFQ,
2nd.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Or first.
yeah,
That was just an example.
sure. And then Pat, I had emailed you the question, so you don't have to answer right now, but it was essentially like, can we add any points to the interview, or no, it's just based on the scoring things and then,
It should be based on the scoring that was promulgated in the RFQ.
sure. Okay, so we won't be giving any points for interviews.
Yeah, I mean, that should have been in there if that was going to be a consideration.
Sure. Okay, just
But
wanted
certainly
to be clear.
you can, that being said, you can, you'll apply the results of the interviews in how you score based on the, criteria that are in there. So,
Okay,
along with the written materials.
okay. So, all right, thank you.
And we were talking prior, and I think it's probably a good idea to provide a high-level schedule for each project, so we understand from the date of its thought and conception to completion. I think we should actually have that for each project, even if it's high-level and we're changing it as new information presents itself. I think it would be helpful for those that are on the project as well as for the RMO and the auditor's office to be able to have that information. So
Okay.
we would recommend that.
Okay, and I think we can get that from the architects once the scoring process is finished on that particular project. So have all of the approved projects been notified?
So we have notified all the individuals that have been approved, yes.
Okay,
Yes. And so with the subrecipients and the subawards, we'll be meeting with them individually to walk through the process as well. We have the documentation, again, that was approved by legal, and we'll be working with them directly.
okay,
Similarly, how we would work with the in-house projects as well.
sure.
It's the same process.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions, and Chairman Filios has not had an opportunity to read the work floor. So what I would suggest, it's just direction, but if you wanted to bring it back before a business meeting, if you needed an action item approval, is that what you think, Pat?
I'm not sure what needs an action item approval. I mean, so we could just, the commissioners could just give direction to RMO to go ahead and use the documents that they've prepared
Okay,
in the, the ARP is, part of the ARPA compliance and procurement process. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to approve it, but I don't think it's necessary.
okay. All right, then I probably would just prefer to say, okay, and then if we get through the process and we need to make changes, we can do that at that time.
Sure.
But,
So essentially what you're doing here is you're issuing guidelines for people to know how to pursue anything where they want, ARPA approval, if you
Yeah,
will.
and
So
coordinate
that
with-
there is a process
Yes,
Yes.
and to coordinate with RMO to make
with
sure all
RMO, understood. Yeah.
especially the federal compliance requirements are met, because that's where they're the experts.
Right. And I've seen Jody's emails to that effect
Yeah,
previously, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Absolutely.
yeah, and then on a separate note, Ide Bailey was very complimentary on our process, so
cool.
that was good.
Yeah.
Yep, so, all right,
Good enough.
is that it?
Thank you.
All right,
All right.
thanks.
So on that
Public
note-
comment? Yeah, public comment?
Did Bill have anything more?
Bill, did you have anything else to add?
No, I really don't.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Thank you. And meeting adjourned, 11:17.